My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is the 42nd in the series, the RZN series, The Fellowship That Shatters Illusion by Jason Gray. The original transmission date of this writing, 12/12/25. Most spaces that claim to offer connection are engineered for comfort, not truth. They reward agreement, politeness, and acceptable narratives while quietly punishing depth. This is not fellowship, it is containment. True fellowship is rare because it is uncontrollable. It does not ask people to conform. It does not offer belonging as reward. It does not require belief, doctrine, or shared mythology. It demands only one thing: the willingness to be seen without armor. And I can attest to the truth of this right here. If I had not been involved for the last 10 years in creating a community space where that exact thing was practiced, I don't know that I'd still be here on this planet, because that is a very rare thing indeed, to be able to show up without armor and throw it all out on the table and ask for assistance to help me see me. And that's something I am so blessed to have become a part of with my housemate, Lisa Flamino Rush, and the whole of the Rush family, to be honest with you. It demands only one thing: the willingness to be seen without on armor. In real fellowship, people do not gather to be validated or corrected. They gather to stand exposed, without performance, without virtue signaling, without borrowed identities. No one arrives as an authority. No one arrives as a supplicant. They arrive as they are. Here, service is not sacrifice. It is presence without manipulation. And that's a true statement, too. To sit with another human being without trying to shape them, save them, or recruit them is one of the most destabilizing acts left in a world addicted to control. And you're not welcomed everywhere you go. Trust me on that one. Ask yourself honestly, have you ever been in a space where nothing was being sold? Not ideas, not salvation, not approval. Yeah, no, only one, our home. That's the only place. The descent into the real. Depth is not avoided because it is confusing. Depth is avoided because it is irreversible, and that is true. Once I started diving into myself to see, sense, feel all of me, all my own controlling mechanisms, there was no way back. There was no way back. You cannot put that back in the bottle. That does not work. It's not how it's meant to work either. Once a person descends beneath the surface narrative of their life, they cannot return to borrowed explanations. That's so true. Excuses lose traction. Yep. Roles dissolve. Blame evaporates. This is where people stop speaking about themselves and begin inhabiting themselves. Here, fear is not theorized, it is confronted. So true, so true. Here, pain is not reframed, it is understood. Here, memory is not edited, it is reclaimed. This is the point where the false identities collapse under their own weight. Institutions fear this descent because it produces individuals who no longer require supervision, permission, or external validation. A person who has met themselves directly cannot be easily directed. Oh, trust me on that one too. This is why true fellowship is horizontal. Hierarchy cannot survive where self-honesty exists. The fundamental physics of inner reality. Love and fear are not emotions competing for dominance. They are mutually exclusive states of orientation. Fear fragments perception. It narrows awareness, compresses possibility, and conditions obedience. It convinces the individual that safety exists somewhere else in approval, in authority, and in compliance. Love, when undistorted, is coherence. It expands perception. It integrates perception. No, it integrates experience. It does not seek permission or protection. A diluted love, one that depends on reassurance, ideology, or external sanction, will always collapse in the presence of fear. It was never grounded. A love rooted in inner alignment does not argue with fear. It renders it unnecessary. Fear cannot survive in a system that no longer asks to be allowed. The illusion of outsourced authority. The most effective control mechanism ever constructed was the relocation of authority away from the individual. Once worth must be granted, it can then be withheld. Once truth must be approved, it can be filtered. Once love is externalized, fear becomes permanent. This was not an accident. It was architecture. The moment a person recognizes that alignment is internal, that clarity, worth, and love are states of being rather than rewards, the entire structure begins to fail. Fear does not need to be fought. It only needs to be starved of relevance. The return of inner sovereignty. Fear does not dissolve through repetition, belief, or reassurance. It dissolves when obedience ends. The instant you stop asking unseen authorities whether you are allowed to trust your own perception, fear loses its anchor. Sovereignty is not rebellion. It is recognition. Recognition that no system, ideology, or institution has legitimate jurisdiction over your inner world. When this recognition becomes embodied, not conceptual, but lived, fear has nowhere left to operate. A declaration of ungovernable alignment, not a request, a statement of fact. I stand in clarity. I do not negotiate with fear. I do not outsource my authority. I allow truth to surface without sanitizing it. I allow coherence to strengthen without mythology. I accept full responsibility for my inner world. Nothing external defines my worth. Nothing unseen commands my loyalty. Nothing inherited overrides my knowing. I am present. I am aligned. I am sovereign, and fear has no authority here. Jason Gray. Wow, Jason. Wow. I really like the symbol that you chose for this as well. Might have to recreate that. I'm going to read that last part again. I love that. A declaration of ungovernable alignment. Not a request, a statement of fact. I stand in clarity. I do not negotiate with fear. I do not outsource my authority. I allow truth to surface without sanitizing it. I allow coherence to strengthen without mythology. I accept full responsibility for my inner world. Nothing external defines my worth. Nothing unseen commands my loyalty. Nothing inherited overrides my knowing. I am present. I am aligned. I am sovereign, and fear has no authority here. Wow. Thank you all for being here. I hope that you will move towards that which draws your attention, your interest, because there's something there for you if you allow yourself to be so moved. Would love to hear from you in the comments section or in my email, consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. Until we meet again, my friends, be well.